Hello, this is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be using Boo Crew by MFT Stamps, my favorite things. I got it in one of their recent releases. I don't know if it was the most recent or not. I will be showing you the Copics that I'm using right before I use them. So hopefully that is helpful. This is Marker Monday, number 11. And I'll be using Copics for all of the coloring. I don't end up using all of these guys on the card because I didn't really plan that part out very well. And I ended up going with a top opening card, so it's a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but the width is 4 1/4, and so I can only fit 3 of these guys on there. Unfortunately, Dracula does not make the cut. So, this is one of my kind of go-to, well, I won't say this one is, I normally don't use R17. I was going to say go-to red blend. I kind of like this one, but the red blends I normally do from like darkest is like a 3 blend from the darkest red that I own is R89, R59, and R39. Then you can go from R59 to R39 to R29, which is a good blend. I really like using that on like Santa or a sleigh on Christmas cards. This one, I didn't want to start so dark, so I started with R39, then went to R29, and then I chose R17, and I think it worked out pretty well. This purple blend, because I can't not color a witch's outfit purple, I don't know why, is kind of my go-to blend, but I'm thinking I need to kind of reformulate my purple combo because the purples aren't quite the same. The V09 to V17 is fine, but I think going to V15, which I do, I think V15 is just a little too light, and it kind of makes it splotchy and washes it out. If you have a favorite 3-color purple combo that isn't this one, feel free to let me know down below and I will give it a try. I have trying to buy more purple Copics from the purple side because it's just kind of hard, and I'm now realizing that purple is just kind of one of those unnatural colors that you have to mix reds and blues to get to, and so it's probably hard to make purples, I guess, unless I know nothing about color. So there are like BV colors, which is the blue violet, I believe, that I think I have a good 3-color combo for. I can't remember what they are, but I really want this V09 and V17 to work out. So I guess I'm wondering, if you use V09 to V17, what is your 3rd color? I know that V12 would be a good match with V15, but I need to just work on my chart a little more and kind of figure out what would look better. So for this mummy, this is kind of fun because I learned from someone, and I can't remember who, I feel so bad, who colored the mummy from Lon Fawn's costume party as if he like maybe wrapped himself, and so some of his clothes are peeking out, which is really cute because you just assume, oh, he's just wrapped up like a mummy, so everything that's left, like right now here on this one, would be white or a really light gray to show some color or shadow. But they colored it as if some of his clothes were peeking out, like if he wasn't fully wrapped. And I've done that before when I saw that. And then I shared with my crafty friend Vicky, and she did that on one of her cards recently for this guy, I believe, specifically from this set. And I think it's just really cute because he still gets to have clothes like everyone else. He's not just, you know, mummy wrappings. So I'll be showing you some of his clothes peeking out, because if you look at the mummy, like really look at the wrapping, only some of it or most of it actually looks like, I'm I don't want to say tissue, it's probably more like gauze or something like that. Only some of it looks like wrapping. Some of it, just the shape of it doesn't really look like it would be actual wrapping material, so his clothes would peek through. And then, let's see. So this color, this FYG2, it says fluorescent, but it is a dull, like a dull fluorescent. So on my chart, it didn't look so fluorescent, so I decided to pair it with YG07, and then I believe it's YG11 for little Frankenstein monster here for his green skin. And I haven't reached for that first color before, the fluorescent green, and I really like it because it's not like a highlighter. I know that some of the colors in alcohol marker sets are basically a highlighter, and you'd think fluorescent would mean that, but I think that worked out pretty well. And then I'm basically, for all of the dark things that might be black, I'm using C9 and C7. So Dracula's hair, Frankenstein monster's hair, and their shoes, I'm using that combination for, or I'm just using C9 because I don't want it to be so dark. I did recently color with black, though, like a straight, like black Copic, either 100 or 110, I can't remember the number, and it wasn't too bad. I was always worried about kind of the lines that you stamped not being able to be seen, but I think the markers are good at that. Even the black ones still let some of that show through, so don't be afraid to use your black Copics if you have them. The pumpkin doesn't make the cut either. Neither does any of the candy. I don't know if I had any intention for that, but I stamped, just because I had them in my Misty, I stamped 4 sheets of these. So I don't use the candy or the pumpkin or Dracula, but I use the other 3 little guys. And so I decided to make his t-shirt orange and just show some of that peeking through. And then just B18, and I'm only using one color here since I'm coloring such a small area where it's just peeking out. Blue, like he's wearing jeans, and then I'll color in his shoes because he probably wouldn't have wrapping on his shoes. And then I decided to add some more for his face peeking out, like where his chin is, and I think that looks pretty cute. And I actually didn't, and I probably should have, color in any of his gauze wrappings, like a really, really light gray, and blended that out, but I think I just forgot to. And then I'm using a couple of the greens from Frankenstein Monster Skin for this guy's little bucket. It's kind of similar to things that you do in watercolor when you set up a palette. Let's say you mix up some colors and you paint with them, then as you go, a lot of watercolor artists, I've noticed, they'll just start mixing those colors together or adding more of one to that, but keep using colors you've already used in your mix, and that kind of helps your painting look more natural, like it comes together because you're using similar colors or colors that are already inside of other colors. So here, using the green from the Frankenstein skin on the other guy's little bucket, stuff like that, and the same color for their jeans. Everyone's wearing jeans apparently. I don't reach for these dark blues very often either. I'm trying to kind of reach for colors I don't use or haven't been using very often, because I tried more recently to fill in my Copic chart, and so I should probably use the colors that I bought. I really like what I did for Dracula's shirt, even though I don't use him on the card. I did a kind of a dark green, light green striped shirt because I feel like when we were little, we had these really weird costumes. I don't know. I was a witch and my brother was Dracula, I think, and he kind of looked like this, and I feel like that's a shirt we would have worn in the 90s. I have it on video, like VHS, all of our home movies, but the masks were like these really weird cloth, puffy, like flat things that we would you'd put on the front of your face and you'd have a strap that went around the back of your head. It wasn't a mask that you like put over your head or anything. It was really strange, but I don't know if my mom made them or something, but that's what we wore one year. And it was just kind of funny. So I've colored everyone in. I am going to pause while I die cut them out. And then I used this paper pad that I got at Michael's from Recollections Halloween Party for the night sky that I chose. And then the back side of another Halloween paper pad was like an orange pattern. The back side was just green. So I used a Lawn Fawn die to kind of cut a grass border out of it. And then I'll just stick down the night sky to the whole background. I was showing you though that this is a top folding card because I don't think I showed you that part yet. And then for the grass, I'm going to, the edges of the paper are kind of weird. They're textured differently. So I'm going to hold down the grass in the middle and just hold it very well and trim off both sides before I glue this down. Just because the edges are kind of strange, so I wanted to get both of the edges off. And I might as well size it while I'm at it. So I'm just going to use tape runner to stick that down. And I'm not tucking anything behind the grass, so I can put, I probably could have still, but I just put adhesive all over the back side. Usually if you have grass like this and you want to be able to tuck something behind it, you don't want to cover the whole backside with adhesive just in case you're sticking like a tree trunk or something down in there. And then I'm using a sentiment from the stamp set, but I'm also going to be adding another sentiment in kind of a different way because I couldn't think of anything else to put in the sky other than, you know, stamping out like a moon or some clouds or something like that. So all of these little guys didn't quite fit. So I settled on Dracula was just a little too wide because his cape is open. And so I stuck with these three guys here. So I'm just going to stick them down. And I left the pumpkin off, I'm pretty sure. So I just have the little guys on here. And then, yeah, I just couldn't make that work and have it look right to me. So I set it aside for next time. So then what I found in that same paper pad was one of these pages that I don't really think I could use on a card. So I am going to trim out the Happy Halloween. And I liked the idea of the orange sparkle behind it, but I am losing that by cutting off the top and the bottom of the sentiment. So I'm going to make my own with some glitter paper. I'm pretty sure it's from Die Cuts with a View, DCVW, their glitter cardstock. It's the thicker kind. And I just hold this on my paper trimmer to kind of measure how big of a background that I'm going to need for it to peek through. Then I'll just use glue to glue this down. I usually use glue when I'm gluing paper down to rough glitter paper so that I can be sure it will stay, because tape runner isn't quite as, I don't know, gripping. And then I'm going to put that, and it kind of matches because the background is the same as the sky, so it's kind of like it's up in the sky. I don't know. I like the way it looks. And it fills up the background like I wanted it to. So then I'm just going to use my number 10 Jelly Roll, which is my favorite number for highlighting. The 8 has just kind of become too thin, and making the marker, or not the marker, the pen work doesn't go very well. So I'm just adding some highlights, trying not to smear them with my hand as I go. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of Nuvo glitter drops to the candy in his bucket because I'm not really sure what else I should add it to. And then that will finish off the card. So thank you for watching Marker Monday number 11, and I will see you guys for Watercolor Wednesday. I'm excited for that one. And yeah, let me know what else you want to see down below. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.